For a couple months now, I've been getting my Jackery solar power system parts together for this video. Now we have two videos out there already. One of them talks about how to charge our electric side-by-side with the Jackery, and also our path or our road to turning this barn completely into an off-grid barn by using Jackery products. So first of all, we have the Jackery 3600 Home Plus solar generator. So this is the cornerstone of our system here, and being 100% upfront, Jackery sent us this to do demonstration videos, but then we expanded the system to include the 500 watt solar panels, which we're going to set up. We also installed a transfer switch, which I'll show you. So we bought the transfer switch from Jackery, but it's a Reliance transfer switch, so you actually could buy it anywhere. It's very similar to the transfer switch we bought from Home Depot and installed in our mega shed. But then we also bought the cord from Amazon, and that will connect over to the Jackery. And finally, there's one more piece of the puzzle that we just got in the mail this week. So what we have here is the Jackery battery expansion. So this is 3600 watts or 3.6 kilowatts. And this doubles the capacity of this generator. And you can keep stacking batteries until you get to 21,000 or 21.0 kilowatts. We're looking for something more than just something that provides us a few minutes of power. We want something that's more sustainable, that recharges itself and also reduces our power bill. And Jackery wanted me to mention that right now we're in the middle of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and you can get these products up to 65% off. Also, if you sign in to their app, and I just did it this morning, it is so simple. You can control and monitor your system through Bluetooth, but within the app, there's special perks you can earn through their rewards program. So setting up the solar panels is super simple. I've done it before in a previous video. So the biggest limitation here is going to be the length of your cord. I assume you can get extensions to this, but I'm going to put this cord to where I can plug it into the Jackery and put the rest of it out there. So this is my temporary setup, but we want to go to a permanent install because the goal is to reduce or eliminate the electric bill of this red barn here. So what we're going to do in this multi-day test is show how much power we're getting from the sun and how much power we're using in this barn. Now this barn currently has a 24/7 Reolink camera that's operating, so that's going to be a constant draw. Lighting is only used at night, of course, and it's not on all night, so it's used when we need to tend to the cattle. But during the summer, there'll be fans running 24/7, so I'll simulate that power draw with some fans I'll have plugged in to an extension cord inside the building. So these panels are lightweight, they're flexible. They're 500 watt panels. And Jackery says if you have 1,000 watts worth of panels, so two of these sets linked together, that it will recharge the battery from 0 to 100% in 4 hours. I've only got 500 watts of power, so I guess it would take me 8 hours at 500 watts to completely recharge the battery. And that's where the battery expansion comes in, so that I have more capacity for the days when it's cloudy or when I just can't get enough charge. We've got the solar panels all set up, but they're not plugged into the Jackery. So let's turn the unit on. It says it has 93% charge. And then we'll plug in the solar panel. The solar input is right here. And you can see where you could hook up 2 solar panels or 2 solar panel sets. So you could get to that 1,000 for the 4-hour charging. So we've gotten as high as 495 on our solar panels, but it's winter, so the sun is lower. We expect with longer days in the summer, we should be able to achieve a lot closer to 500 consistently for a lot more hours in the day. So I'm going to power it down to hook up the battery pack. So there's multiple ways you can charge this unit. They give you the 110 cord, so I could plug it right here into a 110 outlet, and it would charge in about 2.5 hours if it was on 0. And you can also plug it into a generator, a gas generator, if you're off-grid and you're not getting enough sunlight and you need to power up your pack here. We're going to add the battery pack right now, and here's the DC expansion port where the battery pack plugs in, and here's the plug here. So they give you this short cord. So we'll take one end of the cord and plug it into the battery pack. You got a little button here on the side. You push that button, you get a positive click there, and that's where you would hook to a second battery pack and so on and daisy chain them. And we'll take the other end of the cord, hold that thumb piece again, push it in there. And simple as that, we've got the battery pack hooked up. Now we'll turn on the 3600. And you'll see it says 93%, and then the battery says 30%. So what that's telling us is we have 93% of this 3600 watts, and we have 30% of this 3600 watts. We're going to plug in the solar charger. So remember, Jackery said at 500 watts, and if this was 0, it would take about 4 hours to completely recharge this pack. But now we've got to charge this pack and the extra pack, so we're looking at 8.3 hours. But I want to start this test at 100%, so I'm going to take off the solar power for now. I'm going to hook up the AC charger that plugs into the wall, and I'm going to charge everything to 100% so we can start our test. And what I love about this system is there's not any kind of engineering you have to do. It all comes plug and play. All the electrical connections are quick connect and quick disconnect. All of the ports are right here, easy to get to. All right, we're going to take a break here and meet back up once we're at 100%. The Jackery Homepower 3600 Plus is designed specifically for modern households of 3 to 6 people, combining power, safety, and portability in one complete home backup package. At 77 pounds, it is the world's lightest and smallest 3600 watt LFP power station, making it ultra portable and easy to position wherever you need reliable power. The 3600 Plus can also function as an uninterrupted power supply. When connected to AC input, it powers devices through grid electricity, and in the event of a sudden outage, it automatically switches to battery mode within 10 milliseconds. The 3600 Plus is charged by plugging into a 100 to 120 volt power and fully recharges in about 2.5 hours. It can be connected to another 3600 Plus for 7200 watts of backup power and is easily expanded to 21,000 kilowatts by adding additional battery packs. There's also a 500 watt solar panel available for off-grid use. Jackery built these units to withstand 6,000 plus cycles, delivering over 10 years of durability. This is a long-term investment, engineered to last 10 plus years, not just an emergency gadget. Even with daily use, the battery still retains 70% capacity after 10 years. It comes with a 3-year standard warranty with a 2-year extension, far above industry standards for long-term peace of mind. Okay guys, so the sun has set, and we're going to check the charge here on the Jackery. It's been plugged in. I got 100% on the Jackery and 100% on the battery. So we'll unplug the 110 input, and there's no sun, so we're not going to be able to have any input from solar, but we'll go ahead and plug that in just so that it's ready for the morning sun. Okay, next we'll take the generator power cord and hook it up to the transfer switch. It's already hooked up on that end. We'll hook it up over here on this end. We've got 6 circuits here and a 3-position switch. Everything is on grid or in line power. And we'll go to off. And our lights went off. We'll go up to generator. And our lights came on. And these 5 LEDs are drawing about 220 some watts. And we'd have about 28 hours with just these lights on. So we just got to get through the night until it starts recharging from solar. But we're going to go ahead and switch them all, and this will include the camera, which is currently on. So right now it's got the camera and 5 LED lights on it. So let's go in here, because every night we turn the lights on here in the barn, because we take the cows out at night and let them run for a while after their dinner. So these lights stay on, and this is just kind of our normal operations here. And turn on the lights for the cows. For now, we're going to keep the roll-up door closed, but that's another item that will draw power. So our current draw is 1163 watts. And it's telling me we'd have 6 hours if we left everything on like it is now. So I just checked the Jackery, and the lights being on for just over an hour, it's down to about 86%. Now keep in mind, the lights won't be on all night. The only thing left to do really is open and close that door, and then we'll shut it down and we'll see the power draw off for everything that's going to be left on overnight. And that's the roll-up door. You see the increase in wattage usage and also decrease in life left. All right, back to the barn lights only. We got 4.8 hours of battery left with everything on. Okay, we're wrapping up the feeding, so we're going to turn off the lights inside here. Turn off this light. So now basically it's drawing 0 watts. The camera must not draw that many watts. It obviously can't recharge because there's no sun out. Remember that 68% and check it in the morning. The sun's up. Let's go check on the status of the Jackery. And so the solar panels are getting a little bit of sun. It's just breaking over the trees there. All right, so we're getting 29 watts. And our output is 0 right now. And we're at 57 total. Also, it was pretty chilly last night. We got down to about 35. And I don't know the temperature inside the room where the Jackery is. But we all know that batteries are not as potent, I guess, is the best term. And keep in mind, this is a realistic test. So we're not going to artificially turn on lights or needlessly turn on lights or in any way skew the test. We're just going to use the barn as we would naturally use it just to see if the Jackery that we've built with the base system, the expansion battery pack, the solar panels, and the transfer switch, just see if all that can run this barn without any kind of maintenance or any kind of putting it back on grid or not. That's what this whole video and this whole test is about. But now I got to help Deb feed these cows. Midday, almost peak. Well, not almost peak, but we got almost 400 watts and it's a 500 watt panel. Still drawing 145 for the fan. So it's morning number 3. And this will conclude the test of the Jackery, and I already know the results because I saw what it said last night. It was down to 1%. All it had to run overnight was the camera. All right, let's see what the power is on the Jackery as we conclude this test. There's one LED light, or there's the main bay lights in the barn, and it's saying it would last 0.1 hours. And there's no way the input is going to overtake the output at this point. So this test proved exactly what one of our viewers put down in a comment, and that's that you got to do some math. And I did not know that those high bay lights would draw 1130 watts. That's a big draw. Remember, this thing only has 7,000 watts when it's not getting input from the sun. And even when it's getting full input with those solar panels, it's only getting 500 watts. So if you're burning 1130 and you're only inputting 500, you can see you're going to deplete. And that's one thing that we're learning as we use a system like this, is that you've got to be conservative with your energy use. I learned a lot in this video, and I also learned the limitations of a solar system. Now, I haven't done the math, but in order for this to work in the wintertime, I would have to get at least one more, if not 2 more battery packs. But the real limitation is the amount of sun that you have. Days are shorter in the winter and the sun's not as high overhead, so you're not going to get optimal charging. And you've got to take into consideration there's going to be some rainy days and some cloudy days. So if you truly want to go off grid with a solar powered system, you've just got to be conservative with your energy usage, and we weren't for this test. We used it just like we were on grid. It showed the limitations of the system, and I think that's good. It's good to know that, so that going forward you can make adjustments either in your system or the way you use electricity so that it will work for you. But that'll wrap up today's video, folks. We sure appreciate you watching. If you liked it, click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, remember, life's short, tractor hard, and check out these 2 Jackery videos here. It'll give you more information on the product. Take care. We'll see you on the next video.